We got a fan in the deep. It's called What Up Doe. What Up Doe?
What up, dude? What up, dude?
Boy, get this money. Would you what's up and get this money? Boy, get this money. Would you get this money? Get this money. Get this money.
Welcome. What up, though? Y'all already know this main man, Dice Clark.
What up, though? This is Gino, a.k.a. Faircon Jr., a.k.a. Knowledge, a.k.a. Kawan in the building. What up, though, Dirty?
What up, though, y'all? This Dirt Dog, a.k.a. Tootie Son, a.k.a. X-800-pound gorilla, a.k.a. 2025 into the fucking Godzilla.
What up, though? What up, though? It's your homeboy Ted Skills. Let's go Lions, baby.
Let's go. They heard they won. Shout out to our super producer, Rico. And as y'all see, y'all watching the award-winning podcast, Pod Talk. Shout out to podcaster, my man Miles Dixon and the Poskers. You heard?
Go on there.
Today, again, y'all tapping in. Y'all already know, push that share button. Go to YouTube. Subscribe. What Up Doe, W.U.D. on YouTube. Today, we got a special guest. We're going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to jump right into it.
Also, let us know what platforms we can find you on.
Name is Desmond Hill. I'm a financial coach for a workforce development agency called Sir Metro Detroit, and we work alongside Detroit at Works as well as Michigan Works, which are the entities that prepare the Detroit citizens for job opportunities, workforce development, and a variety of different trainings. So if you're actually looking to develop a new skill set, or if you just need prepared to get back in the workforce, that's what our organizations, work with. And with myself as a financial coach, you can just look at me as like a accountability partner, like you would with your gym trainer. Somebody that can just hold you accountable, somebody that'll help you put together a financial plan, and really just covering the fundamentals to get you to the next step of where you want to go in life and what you are preparing for to succeed. And I really want you guys to support the agency that I work for, and that is sirmetro.org. You can go there, as well as you can find me on Facebook at my name, Desmond Hill.
Or every time you had to say it, you did it better. Hats off to that. I gotta give you that.
Let me ask you a question. Is it fair to say like the average American makes, let's just say roughly $40,000 to $50,000 a year?
It depends on the area. So I actually was a loan officer for over 6 years, and I actually worked with a lot of clients from California, Washington, and New York, Florida, so all across the country. And you'll be surprised what the average salary is, but I would say right now, because of inflation, it probably is like around 40,000 ish.
Right.
But that isn't holding
Which
up.
don't get you shit.
Hold on. And I say that to say this. I said that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's a misconception about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you life right, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, a lot of women or said they don't want a man that make $40,000 a year. But if you start off at $40,000 a year at 19 years old, and if you do life right for 20 years, and that's $800,000 that you done saved in 20. Well, let's say that you done made in 20 years, correct? Absolutely. So at $800,000 in 20 years, you're 39 years old. Now, let's just say you probably spent $400,000 out of that money, you know what I'm saying, for bills and everything else. You still have saved $500,000 to $400,000 as a 39-year-old. Most 39-year-olds today do not, most 40, 50-year-old people do not have $400,000, $500,000 in their bank account.
You only got 4,000.
Right.
Like I said, when I was doing mortgages, I was praying that people at least have $1,000 saved up to even get in the house. But of course, you need more to prepare for home ownership. But you hit on a couple of points, and the first one is like one of the programs we had is called Rebuild Detroit, and that pretty much is you can look at as an introductory to the contractual field. So if you want to get into like pipe fitting, plumbing, carpentry, things of that nature, At 18 years old, you can get into that, get the training for about 2 months, And you'll start off, around $60,000, and then within 5 years of that apprenticeship, you're already making six figures. So
Correct.
at 25 years old, you could already be making over 6 figures. Having control over your time, things of that nature. It's just we don't really classify those type of jobs as sexy, or being an influencer, or doing podcasts. And these are things that's awesome, of course, sharing that information. But the things that's really can set you apart is just developing those type of skill sets, and being aware of those opportunities.
Correct. And I think the biggest problem in life, as our people, as black people, I think we have a problem with saving money. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how much money you make. It's people that make 6 figures and don't really have well, I ain't gonna say a pot to piss in or a window to throw out of, but they are in financial ruins. You know what I'm saying? To where you have a person that's have 400 that make $40,000 a year, have close to $500,000 in their bank account, and then you ask like, how much you make? I make $40,000 a year. You can't afford me. No, he can afford you because you don't really know how much this man have in his bank account. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like people have a misconception of money.
I want to touch on one thing that you said, seriously. To qualify for a mortgage, man, the hoops and the things you got to go through in order just to qualify for a mortgage. And then not only to move past that, to actually to proceed to closing is such the misnomer that they give, like it's easy.
Or no money down, and
it's a lie.
Right? Because you're still coming out of pocket.
Oh my God!
Like you're still coming out of pocket either with like the real estate taxes. You got to establish your escrow, as well as just moving in. At the end of the day, and having that money to do so. We don't want you sleeping on the floor or anything like that. And then on top of that, if you're not putting any money down, your mortgage may look okay, but you're paying a lot on interest on the front end. So
and it's a fine line that seriously, us as black folks, man, we don't sit down and research, and nobody really explains that to you until you actually.
It's cheap. Oh, good.
Yeah, until you get to the process, and then the loan officer calls you back and sends you over a list of things that you need. Oh, and by the way, before you close, that 10,000 we said, that's not right. We're gonna need like 30 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I really think, man, that home ownership is very important, but somebody needs to be able to let people know you have to seriously sit down with somebody who knows what you're doing, who will walk you through the process and make you understand this is what I need you to focus on. And maybe you should pause for a year, and I can walk you through that year, and within a year's time, I can have you there. That's real talk.
And home ownership isn't for everybody. I know that's the biggest thing where it's like, oh, I want to own a home, and that's fine. That's the American dream.
That's what they say.
To say the least. But renting it could just be just as good. Depending on the market you're in, renting may be cheaper than actually having, a mortgage.
Absolutely.
And personally for me, I have a condo, but I don't want to deal with all the upkeep and maintenance. So the condo association pretty much have the lawn care taken care of and all the outside work that needs to be taken care of, instead of me going outside and having to cut the grass or fix everything that breaks down. So you really have to just weigh out what's important to you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
If you take a lot of pride in having that ownership, and you're good with your hands, and you like the maintenance, the upkeep, of course you build equity over time, so you can look at it as an investment. But sometimes, especially in today's society, we live a fast life, so renting is just easier.
Renting is either a fast life, or even if you're older, you see what I'm saying? Like, my parents, what I'm saying, they have a condo, what I'm saying, because like you just said, they don't feel like dealing with the lawn upkeep, and what I'm saying, when you get older, it's like you have other things that you can be doing with your time instead of repairing things in a house and on a house and doing the lawn and everything like that.
Unless you Ted Skills. He build houses from the ground. That's
why. But it was an article, saying exactly what you just said, that in today's market, it's better to lease than to buy in most cases. Technically, I always felt like, you should really pay attention to your options when it comes to that, because one, even when you buy a house, you really don't own it because of taxes. Right. If your credit is not good, I don't care how much equity you have established in that property, you can't even pull the money out of the property if your credit is not if you're not in the right credit space. And you can lose the property based off taxes. So basically, you realistically don't own nothing.
You don't own shit.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just all really.
It's a pretty word.
It's all a game.
Yeah.
So like in my eyes, in my opinion, I just always feel like you have to always do what's financial fit for you, what's best for you, what makes sense for you.
And I respect you for saying that. I bought a property, man, and they don't tell you that once you go in, well, obviously, but once you go into it, if you have major problems at that property and the inspector missed it, oh well.
It's on you.
I had to have the great 10 skills come to my house, and the plumbing was shot. No one told me that, you know. So now instead of being able to take a comfortable bath, Mr. Dakar, you're gonna have to put 15 to 20,000 into your plumbing. Yeah, and if you don't have that money, then you just fuck. Oh, and by the way, we still need that mortgage.
Yeah, your rehab, man. You know, I'm still waiting for you to cut me that check. You know, your price for that rehab.
You look at me.
Around 40 or 50 grand for that rehab.
Well, that is true, Tess. You're great at what you do, and I'm glad my man is here. Listen, if there's anybody, I'm a
Wait. Did you do the work, Mr. Skills?
No, me and Dirty in the negotiation.
We're in negotiation.
How is that going?
Well, we're negotiating.
Yeah, we're
gonna
going pretty good.
Why don't you stand
So
here?
you ready?
He tried to give me some. He tried to give me a brown paper bag full of money, and I said, "Dirty, wait a minute, Dirty. I do not do business like that." You know, he's like, "This is just a down payment for right now. This is just a down payment for right now, 10 skills. I'm gonna get the rest of the money together."
That sounds about right.
I would never let nobody else touch my house if it's cosmetic or whatever besides him. I would really, the guy, I mean, I didn't say his show, but he does a great job. That's what I want to say. And like you say, if you know how to repair things at home, you get that's a hell of a jump. You know what I'm saying? Like being a mechanic. If you buy a used car or whatever, man, because these houses are used unless you get them brand new. If you know how to fix the car, you're a lot better than a cat like who's a layperson who don't know how to fix shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to cost you more. But yeah, I definitely, man, need somebody to be able to sit down with black people and let them know this is your benefit for renting. This is your benefit potentially owning, and you might not be set up for that shit. Yeah, that's real talk.
Let me ask you a question. If you can go back to the younger you, what advice you would give yourself financially to a 19-year-old you?
Don't be a people pleaser. I was the type of guy that, I definitely like to party. You know, I pledged in college and all that good stuff. So I was always looked at as the person that knows how to have a good time. So just being able to say no to individuals. Nobody cares about your money more than you.
Right.
Nobody's going to look out for you in that regard. And, you know, if you're not planning, then you're essentially planning to fail. So I would just say is, protect your money and really start, you don't have to have all the answers. You know, I think at that age, you feel like you should have all the answers, but I would at least say, just know what you want for yourself out of life, and then just start putting together a plan of how you will execute on those things. You know, whatever it is, if you want to, work for a certain organization or start in business, while you're in school, or even, at 18 or 19, just start, putting that together, because what's going to happen is, you're going to be 25. I know a lot of the young cats, they were like, oh, you're 30 years old or however old, and it's like, oh, that's just old. Yeah. And it's just like, no, that's going to happen tomorrow for you. You're going to be 25. Yeah, if you're lucky. But you're going to, 25 is going to hit, you're going to be 30, you're going to be 35, you're going to be 40 or whatever. So even kind of going back when I talked about the apprenticeship, you're like, oh, I don't want to do apprenticeship for 5 years. But at the age of 25, you can be set, and already be a business owner, already setting up your own schedule. So for me, I would just say, stop trying to please everybody. You don't need to be the life of the party. Save your money, but be intentional with your money. Saving isn't going to make you rich, but if you have a game plan for saving, like, okay, I'm going to set a portion of $5,000. Once I get to $5,000, I'm going to start investing in the stock market. And then each month I'm going to put this down. And then, I'm going to pay off, my car loan or pay down some of my student loans. And then now that I pay those bills off, or I don't have credit card bills, I'm going to use that extra cash flow to, keep putting that into the stock market or, other assets, start a business. Being a business owner, there's a lot of tax advantages going that route.
How do you feel about 401ks?
I would say yes, starting off, absolutely. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If your company has a 401k, I have a Roth IRA right now, but if your company offers a 401k, definitely take advantage of it in the beginning. So when people, I'm very big on the stock market. I invest, I trade stock options, and people always say, okay, what should I invest in, or how do I get going? And the as long as you have the basics, covered. So. First, I would say, be cognizant of your spending habits. Okay, that's usually the first things I talk about is, just seeing where your money is going. Have a spending tracker. There's a lot of apps on there for budgeting, things of that nature. And then, there's a good rule of thumb. If you read any personal finance book or any guru like Dave Ramsey, you got your 50, 30, 20 rules. So your net income, 50% you want to go towards your needs. So paying your bills, groceries, rent, mortgage, things of that nature. 30% of that net income that you bring in from each paycheck should go towards your wants. I call that your treat yourself category. You know, that way you can enjoy your money. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're here to enjoy life, you know, and not just, you know, become miserable and just have all this money, then you die, and you don't have, you know, nothing to show for it. And then 20% out of that 100% allocation is your savings, and paying a little extra towards your debts. So there is a framework to operate in, and then once you have that covered, you know, you paid off any debt, you want to start having an emergency account, then you want to, you know, make sure you're contributing to your 401k, because that's something that your employer can match you with. So you want to take advantage of those small things first. Then it's okay, Des, I maxed out my 401k. I have my 3 to 6 month emergency fund saved up. You know, pretty much my net income, my cash flow is higher, so my expenses are lower than what I'm bringing in. So that's awesome. What can I do next? Then it's like, okay, you know, let's start looking at, you know, getting a little active in your investments. Or if you have a child, you know, you can start, you know, taking advantage of, you know, a 529 college fund for your kids or whatever. You know, you start investing in that. And then I would say, you know, if you want to start investing in the stock market, that's money that I'm not saying prepare to lose it, but that's money that you're not using to pay your bills, essentially. Okay. So any money that I put into the stock market, it's money that I don't need for anything else. It's like, okay, this is essentially my house money. Okay. But I have risk management rules in place for that.
One thing I'm noticing, brother, you sound, man, you are really enlightening a lot of people out here. You broke it down by the percentage, which is absolutely tremendous. One thing I've noticed, one thing you didn't put a percentage in there is paying some bitches' bills. Well, you don't have that percentage down there, because they don't even add up. Where we put that at? You know?
Let me ask you a quick question for y'all before we go deep into that. What advice do you have? Because a lot of time in our community, I've seen people come, you know, run into large sums of money, like through death or whatever the case may be, to where like if a person get like $50,000 to $100,000, what should they do with the money? Because a lot of time our culture, our people, when I done seen this happen so much, especially if they're young, they go buy them some glasses, a car, and clothes, and that money gone. Because like realistically, people don't understand $50,000 to $100,000 is not a lot of money.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So what advice do you have? What should they do with that type of money to kind of like help them grow the money? Because even putting it in the bank realistically don't help you out. It don't gain no type of interest.
Well, so first I would say pay off any debt, any credit card bills, you know, your car notes, especially these car notes, you know, is ridiculous nowadays. So I'll pay off any debts that you have. Once you paid off, you know, your debts, I will pretty much fund whatever checking and savings accounts that you have. So, get comfortable with your savings account where you have 6 months saved up, and your saved up is pretty much to cover your fixed expenses for 6 months. So if you so happen to lose your job or an accident happens, you don't have to dig in, and, miss out on other bills. So make sure your checking and savings account is pretty much at a comfortable median where it's like, okay, I have some breathing room. And then look at like a high yield savings account, a money market account. So you can get like a 4% return. I mean, that's better than, a traditional bank. That's a 2.5, or even like a Bank of America Chase that's less than 1%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but a lot of these newer online banks, because they don't have to cover the infrastructure or the overhead costs like employing a lot of people, they offer like 4 to 5% APYs. I would say that. Then I will probably put,
What about the crypto market? Like, do you invest in crypto?
I'm heavy in crypto. I try to stay away from it only because it.
What about that
confuse
XRP?
people. I'm heavy in XRP.
So you bought Bitcoin when it first came?
So I purchased my first Bitcoin in 2020. So when everybody was using their stimulus checks and everything, that's when I was investing heavy in the stock market at that time. So that allowed me during the time, because I was investing at the bottom in March 2020 when COVID first hit, those investments allowed me to pay off, the car that I drive now and things of that nature. So it put me now in a comfortable position instead of splurging. And, I'm somebody, I don't go out and buy a lot of stuff. I always lived under my means. That's how my family was. Like, they're still like that to today. They live below their means, but everything's paid off for them. So they are getting ready to retire and are comfortable.
I mean, it's amazing that that came off your tongue, living below your means. Because in this generation today, I don't even think you can capture a woman's attention saying something like that, living below your means. Like, what significant other kind of realistic you want to hear that, Dirty?
None.
But it's interesting.
This man is a listen to, not to cut you off, brother. Did y'all hear the pie chart? Not put nothing in there that say, and pay for something. That got to be the dumbest percentage that you can have. Are you married, sir?
No, I'm not.
Okay, there you go.
But I was gonna say this though. What's interesting though, I would say probably 80 to 90 people that come to my coaching are actually women. You know, they're the ones that actually are like,
bet.
yeah. Then the
But
guys.
you know, nowadays women are making more than men. Like women are really successful in this market today.
And they getting help.
And, you know, it's a good thing and it can be a bad thing because now it like to me, it's like in this like they looking down on men because of their income. And realistically, that to me, that's not how life works. You know, we're here to create, you know, memories and things like that. And if you using your income to bully the relationship, you'll never find no one.
Right.
Well, it just sounded to me like you don't even have tolerance for that. I like that. Like that language we're talking right now, you're like, what are they saying? I don't.
Like I said, I've been fortunate enough to have great experiences growing up where I've interacted with women a lot, had, you know, girlfriends. Like I said, I told you, like I pledged and everything like that. So that really showed me the, you know, I don't want to say true colors, but you really get the dynamics that's at play.
So you would not even tolerate a woman who doesn't think like you financially.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to be the one that's going to probably do background checks. Like, your credit got to be on tight. I got to see what type of debt you have because I'm going to take all that on.
You going to do a background check?
Yeah. I mean, because I'm sure they're going to do their checks on me. You know, it may not be background checks, but they're going to be like, well, when was the last time you had a girlfriend? They're going to do, you know, they have their own check. They're going to figure out what their red flags are.
But you know, we ain't gonna, some women dirty at the same time lift men up because a lot of men don't realistically know what to do with their finances. So like when you meet the right woman, she'll help build you up. You know what I'm saying?
But we are banking on a hope and a prayer when it comes to that point, right? What I'm saying is I like where he's coming from. If it should be, listen, there's no way what he's saying and what we all up here should be saying is that if I worked hard to try to establish something and you want to be a part of that something, then I should be able to research you and make sure it's beneficial to allow you into this something instead of just saying, oh, well, she's cute and can speak Spanish and has a nice butt.
Well, in life you got leeches and bees, right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Some women are, even men, this can go both ways. Some women, some men can be leeches, but a leech will suck the blood out you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? Once it's full, it drops off and leave you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And a bee, you know what I'm saying? If you find the right person, a bee would take the pollen out of a flower and create honey from it.
But it's
you know what I'm saying?
Too.
So like,
did you forget?
But basically what I'm saying is it leaves its home and go grab some pollen and come back home and create honey.
And if you're pissing off,
and so you can apply that in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You can apply that in a relationship to where you want your helpmate, you know, to be able to go out there with what you got and to double it up and create some type of income.
Well, it's not about.
So it's just what you want. So you want a bee or do you want a leech?
Well, I want neither one of those because the bees can sting you if it gets pissed off, and then the pollen.
Well, a woman sting when you make her angry.
Well, that's true.
And I was saying earlier on, just be intentional. If you know, because marriage isn't for everybody to be, you know, I mean, we all want something compatible. You know, we're all humans. So at the end of the day, if you're saying like, oh, I don't want anybody, it's like, okay, sure. But you know, it's one of those things that you got to be intentional with your life. That's something I wish I was a little bit, you know, doing more at an earlier age, you know, coming straight out of college, just being more intentional. So if you know that you want to have, you know, a wife or be married, then when you get out of college or even in college, just be intentional. It's like, okay, I'm going to be dating to find my significant other and then really, you know, be with somebody that has the same values as you, you know, kind of, I know a lot of times they say opposites attract, but you want somebody to have the same, you know, I would say religious background, the same, you know, even probably political, beliefs, the same values, same morals, like those core issues, they got to be similar.
You just said two important things: dating and courting. Got to get to know that person to find out is this the type of person that's going to be compatible with everything that you want to deal with,
right?
And
no, go ahead.
Oh, so that you could just be compatible with. That way, when it comes down to it, you will still have some problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because you know, as you're going into that, you get with that person even after dating them. Now y'all together in a full-blown relationship. Y'all still gonna have them problems, but you got to learn to grow together.
Yeah. So like when you young, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and you trying to build up your finances, do you think a woman can throw you off? You know what I'm saying? Like dating, marriage, and all that kind of stuff. Do you think like you should realistically wait until you achieve some of your goals before you start dating, because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we jump into relationships young, get married young, and you know, we be into it with our old lady or our girl or our significant other, and the minute we walk out the door, we lose focus.
That's just being you. That's just being upfront. Like I know one of my good friends. He just married. He just got married, but he's been with this girl for over 10 years. They met in college, and he told her straight up, like, "Hey, like this is where I'm at in life. Either you're with me or you're not." So I think as guys, we just need to be more just forthright and just upfront on what our intentions are and just where we're at. Like, hey, this career that I'm looking for, I may not be able to, reach 6 figures ever, or these are where my passions are. So, this is the life I'm trying to create. And if she doesn't understand that in the beginning, and that goes both ways, if either party or partner doesn't understand that, then at least you found out earlier on.
That was a great point you made, saying that we might not never reach 6 figures ever. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I think a lot of people don't understand that concept because it's not about money. You know what I'm saying? It's about togetherness. You know what I'm saying?
I think that, I agree with everything. You dead on everything you're saying. And you ain't even like emotional about it. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think if you take the emotion out of things, man, if people take the emotion out of a lot of things that we do in life, man, it becomes not even a problem, or it's not problematic. It becomes actually quite simplistic. It just makes sense. Like, this is what I'm trying to do, and let's see if we're able to even sit down and come to a common ground. And if not, we ain't got to waste each other's time.
And I think Dice haven't said one fucking word because he's just not going to tolerate none of that shit with his finance. You know what I'm saying? All that money Dice got up under his mattress. You know what I'm saying?
And, no one knows where he lives anyway. So
he wish a bitch would fuck up his fight. He wish a bitch would fuck up his finances. Dice ain't gonna allow what. And I don't mean to call you a woman to be, but
hey. He's not going to allow it.
Dice is not going to allow a woman to mess up his finances. So do you have anything that you want to...
once again, guys, you guys are
about this
talking
topic,
about something I don't have anything to do with.
What wise words you have to deliver?
I went to church today.
What does that mean?
Shout out to Pastor Glass at El Balto Church on 7 Mile and Grand River. I did have a question for y'all, and I've been asking people this question. And I want y'all to really think about it. Y'all don't even have to answer this. Go to the viewers, too. Viewers, if you're watching, please go to YouTube and subscribe to us on What Up Doe W.U.D. And please push the share button. And this, I'm going to just use me hypothetically. And this, I just met you tonight. But even with your best friend, guy male friend who you know, how would y'all feel if y'all found out that I have been a multi-millionaire for years and didn't share with y'all until like now?
Who want to go first?
I will. I would say that's your business. How do I get in your pockets and count your pockets or be jealous of what you were able to accomplish? Maybe if you would have let us all know or certain people know, you wouldn't be who you are then. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be upset about that at all. That's what you're saying?
Go ahead.
My turn.
Yeah.
I already thought you was. But like Dirty said, that ain't our business. You still gonna be my uncle, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I'm not a financial. I don't base my everyday living I don't eat just bread as far as food goes, and as far as money goes. There's many different things that we eat off of. There's many different things that we learn. And if you're a millionaire already, if you want to share that with us, then cool. If you don't, cool. You're going to be the same person to me that you were before I knew that. Or like I said, I already thought you was. You know what I'm saying? And if I did know that, it's the same.
My thing is this, your financial, that's your personal business. It's like in the bedroom, that's your personal business. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times when people know your finances, it changed their opinion about you. You understand what I'm saying? They look at you, and especially when it comes down to your family. You know what I'm saying? Your friend. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like today, let's just say if I hit the big game and won $50 million. You know how many friends that I might lose. You know how many friends that may become jealous and envious because I won that type of money. A lot of times people don't care about what you give them. You can give a person money, cars, and all kind of stuff, and they'll still hate you and dislike you because it's not about the money.
Yeah.
At this point, they want to be you. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that can never happen. You understand what I'm saying? So Dice can be a millionaire, and although I come to him and get 5,000, 10,000, keep getting, I'm still like, ugh, fuck this nigga. He a whole ass nigga.
But you know what? Some people already have like a jealous heart. Some people that's just who they are. That's just their personality.
Right. So my question is, your finances is yours. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your friend because of what you have. I'm your friend because who you are.
Bam. And you know what? My brother is a millionaire. My
All
grandma
your
is a
family
millionaire.
all your whole family is
my uncle's a
millionaires.
millionaire. But guess
Yeah,
what?
you used to money. That's why you don't care about it.
But guess what? That don't change me giving him a call and be like, hey, what up though? No, I just want to kick it with you. What's happening? You all right? I call each one of y'all. Hey, what's going on? Y'all
Not
all
lately.
right?
Yeah. You don't even return calls. But anyway,
I've been busy lately. I've been trying to get myself together on some things.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
But that don't mean that, guess what? When y'all call me, do I answer the phone?
Not all the time, but anyway.
Don't front.
That's real talk.
Don't front. I would answer the phone and say, I gotta call y'all back.
One thing I could say about you, you know what I'm saying? I feel if you were a millionaire, I feel wholeheartedly that I can come to you and ask for $500,000, and I really feel like you'll give it to me.
You don't have to come to me and ask $5,000. Guess
You said
what?
500,000.
Not 5,000. I said 500,000.
You don't have to ask me 500, 5,000. Guess what? If I got it, I'm just gonna be like, here.
I can't wait till you get rich.
Y'all know the thing, and see that's the thing. It's about that person's spirit. It's about their character. Who is that guy? Does he have great character? Does he have does he have integrity? And that's what a lot of us is missing, especially with each other as brothers. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? I need to, if I see a brother, whether he's struggling or not, bam, I'm gonna be a blessing to you. You see what I'm saying?
Without him even asking.
Without him even asking.
And that's what I mean as a brother, but do you see that in your brother though? You know what I'm saying?
And guess what? I like that. Super producer Rico just said, is he deserving of it? To tell you the truth, I'm not gonna hang around nobody who ain't deserving of it.
Amen.
You see what I'm saying?
Some of the people who are gonna ask. I know we all know people who got some rich people in their family, and then they be looking like, oh, his brother rich. Why he such rich? Sometimes they might not be deserving. If some people
Yeah. Of that, yeah.
Like he said, the leech.
Yeah. Yep.
My thing is this. I mean, even when it comes down to friends and family and all that kind of stuff, that title really don't mean anything to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's I have some friends that's closer to me than my family. You know what I'm saying? I might look out for them way quicker than my family.
What up, though? What up, though? Dirt Dog, talk to me. Say something good. Okay. Are they there? All right, well, we going with you. Are they on it? What up, though? Somebody there? Say something.
Good evening, fellas.
How you doing? How you doing?
I was waiting for Dirt's whole speech.
I had said it. We missed each other there, you know.
So listen, I was calling about I don't even know what the topic is, but we're talking about finances.
Correct.
So a couple of things. One, before I called you, I heard Rico asked the question, are they deserving of it?
Right.
I think that a lot of times we have to remove that question and that statement from the actual puzzle. Because if we're going to bless somebody, whether we think they're deserving of it or not, if you're going to do for somebody, just do it. You know, because and I know this is not a spiritual thing, but what if God say to us, are we deserving of half of the blessings he gave us? But he give us the blessings in spite of who we are. I think that we as an African American community, we have never been taught to appreciate finances because we've never really had them. So I think that if we get to the point where we can be taught how to handle currency, it will work out best for us. You know, a lot of us, when we get the currency or the finances, we hold on to it so tight, and it never allows the currency to continue to flow. You know, and that's what it's supposed to do. You know, if you're holding on tight to it, can't nobody put nothing in your hand, can't nobody get nothing out of it. But if your hand is open, you know what I'm saying, God can allow, you know, finances to come in and go around, you know, and go out. So I think what I'm saying to, you know, make it simple is we just have to change our mindset about money.
Right. And
how we handle it.
I think what you're saying is 1,000% truth, but I think what Rico meant and what you was talking about is kind of two different things. He was okay. You understand what I'm like? He have a different he was putting it in a different way, but we're not gonna get off into it. But I agree with what you were saying, Carmen.
Okay. I love you guys. You know I got to call once a week just to talk to you guys.
We appreciate it. Thank you for always watching, too.
All right.
You going on break until after the New Year, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we get
January
back.
11th.
Okay. Well, we'll jump back on it for people to check out Detroit Table Talk January 11th with Carmen Evans every Saturday at 5 p.m. to 6:30.
Yep. Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,
okay, bye-bye.
Real quick before we dive back into this, because we have some more guests that just entered the building. Dice, I'll be over later on to pick up about 100,000 from you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have
a house where you gonna come get it from.
I want 20,000. I want 20,000. No. And the rest
Tez,
are all 100.
Tez, what you do? Just call Bear.
Oh, Bear,
it's a Bear.
If we still on camera, if you don't give me the money, I'm gonna be mad to the motherfucker. And I'm gonna talk shit about you too. If we still, oh my bad.
Still alive,
But anyway, we got a new guest that just walked in the building. We're gonna allow him to introduce himself and tell us what he do for a living.
Thank you guys for having me. My name is Israel Ibora. I am in real estate development, lending, and I own a few small companies. We also have a construction company, and we deal in the asset management field.
Wow, so
that's who you need to borrow the money from.
Like you sound like you rich as fuck.
No, you know what?
No, and then you know you got your outfit is super fly. You know what I'm saying?
You was asking me. You said who owned this house next to you, and I said, "Oh, that's my homeboy Izzy."
Oh, on that in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, where Dirty got the biggest house in the neighborhood.
That's not true. Yeah.
So how have the real estate game treated you? Is like, I mean, do you advise our youth, younger people to head in that direction?
1,000%. 1,000%. I mean, real estate has been really good. I've been able to really make a lot of different moves. And kind of like afford my family a different quality of life. One thing with me is I don't really, and I know a lot of people might feel a certain kind of way about it, but I don't really pay myself, I pay the business. So every time I take proceeds, every time I get like a sale or I sell a property or I close a construction project or what have you, I reinvest that money right back into immediately. Right? Because one thing we know, for anybody that's been around for any amount of time, even if we look as close as 2008, if each of us got one property in the Boston Edison district that was going for, $80,000 at that time, we all probably be up 500,000. So I really recommend anybody who's trying to tap into the real estate market is one, understand the business etiquette first, about which way you want to get into it, and then create your business plan and how you want to go about it and get into it as quickly as you can, because prices are always going to keep going up.
To a virgin person that's starting a business, far as tax wise, do you advise them to pay their taxes quarterly or yearly?
I think it's situational. I think every time you make money, you should be putting money aside for taxes. It just depends on the frequency in which you're getting that money in, right? I advise everybody to get a CPA. You know, get a tax guy. Like my tax guy, he's calling me and saying, "Hey, look, your tax liability is going to be high. You need to open a property management company, right? And that way, that's going to lower your taxable burden, and it's going to add, you know, another stream of revenue that you can kind of monetize to other investors." So I think for me, I'm not an expert with taxation. I think, especially within our community, there's a ton of experts, and it's really not expensive. It's a lot cheaper to be, you know, ill-advised than it is to just pay $800 to $1,000 to get your books put together and then follow the blueprint from there. You know.
So I was just gonna say, I know that you're being smart about even with your construction business because, you know, even when I wake up in the morning, I hear a lot of, or I see and hear a lot of Mexicans working on the house next door.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, oh,
It's the competition.
yeah. And I say, oh, you know what? Okay. They pretty smart about what they doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because for one, Mr. Tezzarello, would you hire Mexicans to do your construction, or is that cheaper? Because he's in construction also.
I don't think they're, in some cases they are cheaper, but nowadays they charging just as much. I mean, because those old ways, they hip to it. You know what I'm saying? They hip to the game now. You understand what I'm saying? They understand the money concept of it. I don't hire based off if you a Mexican or whatever color you are. I hire based off your talent and based off your skills. You understand what I'm saying? Because Mexican, a lot of time, no disrespect to their culture, they don't have that type of flavor that we're looking for. They just want to get it done quick and just give you a bland type of concept. You know what I'm saying? So based off the concept, everybody can't put a great concept together. So I'm looking for people who can match me for concepts and ideals.
Okay.
Your construction company. So when you buy these houses, you buy them to flip them or to rent them out. How do you do that?
I'm a long-term hold kind of guy. Flipping them, there's a market for that, and you know, to each their own. But I use property like credit cards, same way. Credit cards, stocks, it's all the same to me. And if I told you I could give you a credit card today, and as long as you pay the bill, it's gonna keep going. Your limit is just gonna keep going up and keep going up and keep going up. You can do balance transfers. You can get another credit card with a higher limit if you maintain this one properly. You can pull money out whenever you wanted to. I think because of, especially within our demographic, I think we need the money right now. So a lot of times we'll sell before we should. And for me, it's about generational wealth. Like, everybody's going to always need a house, right? So I can wash, rinse, and repeat 1 trillion times. Everybody's still going to need a house. The asset is going to continue to grow. And I can leverage that asset to then buy additional assets. And then that asset is going to have people in it, right? Paying that bill on my behalf. So I'm still never really using my money. The equity stays in there. And we've seen historically that equity continues to go up and grow. So it's just to me, I don't really believe in fix and flip. If you have to, and some situations do call for that, it makes sense. But again, that flip money should be going right back into the next investment and a pot to hold. Because right now it allows, like, my portfolio allows me to leverage portfolio loans where you get better rates. And then you're able to maximize a loan across a few different properties. So,
How old are you?
34.
You look young as hell. I was gonna say that. How long you been in this business?
About 15 years.
You started young.
Yep. Had my first house at like 17. Had a land contract.
You got into this on your own. Somebody taught you.
That's a good question. I really don't know how I started on the real estate side. I feel like it was like a natural progression to my curiosity. I'm a first generation immigrant. So I was born and raised in DESMOND, Israel. And when I first got here, I took construction management courses, and it taught us how to build houses. And we would build the houses. They would come to the school. We would build tiny homes. They would come to the school, take them. They would give us a grade, and then the school would sell the property. And I just started thinking, like, damn, that sounds a lot close to 300 years ago. Like, So it just kind of naturally progressed from there. And then I'm like big on like understanding all the different sides of it. So from there, I just went to my own construction, understanding the different concepts. From the construction side, I went into the insurance, right? Understanding how they pay, what they pay, to understand how to price things. And then I went to the claim side. And then full circle, I went to real estate and construction to keep everything in house.
Right. So what the things that you're saying is, before you came in, this is Desmond. He's a financial coach, and this is what like you were actually talking about. Like you can start by the time you're 25, you could be making six figures. This is exactly what you was talking about, right?
Yep.
So you guys don't know each other. I
No.
apologize for that to introduce you guys, so he just did. So y'all connections can help each other out with people watching. I'm glad that viewers are able to get both ends, the financial part and construction and the real estate. Now let me this going out to both of you guys because I'm known in the city. I'm a business person as well, but I'm a giver. I'm a person who give back and want to help the community more than anything. People are y'all status in y'all field. How can I connect with y'all to get y'all help? Because right now we helping the homeless. Even though our friend here, he know how to build houses from the ground, but being already established like y'all are, what part do y'all play as far as help giving back to the community?
For me personally, is where I work right now, because it's not. I work at a nonprofit. I could definitely be, working for a brokerage company. I've made good money working for other corporations, so I definitely took a pay cut. So I figured I was like, okay, I want to definitely get back to the community by just, making our people just more aware, just getting back to the basics, the fundamentals of, your finances. It may not be the sexiest stuff. I mean, the stuff you're talking about, that's the stuff everybody want to do, fix and flip long-term homes, being a business owner, entrepreneur, developing properties. But before you can get to that, you got to at least, have a good mindset and, have your finances in order so you can have money to, leverage or use or understand how to use other people's money, how to talk to the banks, and so forth. But like I said, personally for me, just working in the nonprofit sector is, my way of giving back to the community.
Okay.
So as far as the trades, it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have a ton of people, getting up saying, man, I want to be a plumber or I want to be a construction worker. It's not really a high value industry in most people's eyes. So on a personal note, I had a nonprofit. It's called the Heart of Detroit, where we reach out to at-risk youth. We did a lot of work with pregnant teen centers. And we also worked with a nonprofit called A Village of Wings. So historically, we've always wanted to align ourselves with anybody that's willing to help those in need. But the market that we're in, it's a little bit different because it takes like on-the-job training, people's desire to be able to come somewhere, and we can teach for free. We're willing to teach for free. We're willing to do classes to teach people different trades. And even with our tradesmen, because a lot of them have been in it for 20, 30 years, they want to teach, right? But we just haven't found the proper median point to get people excited about it, and also the connection point on the tradesmen with time-wise to allocate to the youth, and just being a catalyst for those two things.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people had a misconception of, like the real estate game, because like no matter what, it's a win-win game in my opinion. It creates a lot of millionaires. I went like even when the market crashed in the 90s. Do you remember that? Y'all might be young.
Yeah, we're the same age.
A lot of guys, like right across from the Fox, they have built those new condos over there. And when the market went bad, those joints was going for like $20,000, $30,000. I know a cat, I don't know him personally, but a friend of mine told me a cat bought like 10 to 20 of them joints, right? And then once the market, went back up, them joints damn near like $700,000, $800,000. So like the real estate game is like the stock market game too, a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Like
so,
a waiting game.
Yeah, it's like a waiting game. So like I think us as black people, we kind of be scared to invest in property and houses, but to me, like that's one of the better things you could invest in.
As black people, we want quick money.
The fast money.
Yeah, we want that quick, fast money, and don't have the patience to wait on something to mature.
Just short-sighted thinking. That's all it is.
So both of you, starting with you, tell our viewers how they can follow you. They need any of your services. What platforms are you on?
I would say definitely check out sermetro.org. That's sermetro.org. Check out our adult services. That's the Rebuild Detroit program, where you can get into the basics of the construction field, as well as center working with families. If you just need help with different career opportunities, different trainings, maybe you need help getting back in workforce, need help building your resume and stuff. If you go through that information, you'll connect with me, because I help out with the Center Working with Families in Rebuild Detroit. So that's sermetro.org. And then you can also just follow me on Facebook, Desmond Hill.
Is it a cost to that?
It's all free. No.
So anybody want to learn in that field, need to get the help, they can reach out to you and get services. So sounds great. Now you as yourself, please share with the people your platform, social media pages and all that, if they need to reach out to you, if they want to purchase a house, get into that field. Are you able to help them with that as well?
Yeah, so we have in-house real estate brokers and realtors. We have the BURA group, which helps you buy, sell, and evaluate assets in real estate. And also anyone that's looking to get into like the real estate game, where they want to buy and sell themselves. That's a brokerage that's willing to train and bring people in. As far as my personal handles, it's Israel Ibora _REI, pretty much on all social media platforms. I Emerge LLC is my company name. So that's on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much all platforms. And we're always willing to do on-the-job training, mentorship. So anybody interested, have any questions as it relates to real estate, as it relates to construction or anything, we're more than happy to answer any questions that they may have.
So do you guys do step-by-step to help somebody and say, hey, I want to learn this game, I want to purchase a house, and not just flip it, but to do like you're doing? When they come to you and they ready to purchase a home, do y'all walk them through step-by-step, or y'all just give them a little information and then send them about their way?
We do project management, so we pretty much handhold the entire way.
Okay.
And we also do the private lending. So if you don't have the funds to cover the entire property, typically we're able to fund the purchase as well as the rehab. So we try to make it as simple as possible. And we do asset management. So we'll do projections of what the income is going to be, what the holding cost is going to be, what you're projected to sell the property for at, the end of whether you're going to hold it for a short term, long term, or you want to flip it. And typically for like someone coming in and they don't have any real estate experience, we typically do 80% of the purchase price. So you're responsible for 20 and 100% of the rehab cost. And that goes up.
With the loan part, because we know, no offense to my black people, do they need a certain amount of credit score? Or, a lot of us in bad shapes, but they need help. A lot of us made mistakes in an early age, and they trying to get themselves back together, and they just need that push. So when it comes to that part, I see you said private loan. Now, how does that work for a person with a low score on their credit?
Well, I mean, I would just be straight up, like, why is it low? There's one thing to have a low score because you just don't have established credit history, right? There's another thing to have a low score because you've had a financial burden that you couldn't necessarily meet. But regardless of which category you fall into, We have credit repair available to those who may not qualify just yet, and it's accelerated. Everything above board. So we kind of walk people through what that looks like and what the laws state that should be on your credit versus what's actually there. So if you're not there, we can help you get there.
Do you guys got have your business cards with you?
Yeah, I actually brought mine.
Yeah, we'll get it before the show.
Do you guys do land contracts?
We don't necessarily, we wouldn't be holding property for purchase for other people, right? So if you came and you said, hey, I want to get a land contract, we would go out and we would seek all the properties within your criteria that have the option for owner financing. And typically in this market, everything is about negotiation. Like we just closed on one in Farmington, and that one was a 2-acre lot, with the 3-2 on it. And I think we negotiated the purchase price was $140,000 cash. We ended up negotiating $130,000 seller financing at a 7% interest with a 3-year balloon for 2 acres in the heart of Farmington Hills, with a house on the property that's able to be broken up into 3 separate parcels. So like it's all about negotiations.
That's pretty cheap.
Everybody want to make a deal.
Right.
So
That's pretty. That's pretty cheap. You don't see too many of those type of properties out there like that. So like, how was it like a death in the family, or what kind of property was that?
Probably just luck, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, okay.
I've just been blessed that like I'm always looking at the market. Like, you know, I'm not hanging. You know, and no offense to anyone that does. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. I'm always looking at the market. I'm always like people scrolling on social media. I'm on Realtor, I'm on Real Comp, and I'm always looking. So when something like this comes up, it took me a full year to get that deal closed.
Right. So because the comps in that area, I'm quite sure you pulled them. The comps in that area, were they ranging around 300,000-400,000, if not more? They're
ranging for that size house about 275, 300.
So the rehab, is that a full rehab property to
Cosmetic? Just interior floors, a little drywall.
So roof, you might be in it with 20, 30 grand?
About 30.
About 30? Because a rehab of, like, if it was a full rehab, you'd probably be at about 100 grand.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? If it's a full rehab. I think a lot of times with our people, I'm glad you said that, Dice, they have a misconception of cost and how much things cost. They don't understand, like, a kitchen, you know, is ranging from $15,000 to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. They don't understand that a bathroom cost could be from $10,000, $12,000 to $15,000. You know, people think that they can come with $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 and rehab a kitchen or a bathroom, and that's not how this works. You know what I'm saying?
But you can. Right, you can, and it's gonna last you 6 months.
Right, it's gonna get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. Yeah, but I'm just basically saying, you know, and you're right. You know what I'm saying? To get it done the right way,
to last forever, especially if you're buying a home for keeps. You want to put the right kind of money in it so it can last forever. Even if you decide to stay in it for 10 years and then get out and sell it, and it's still up to par.
I mean, even people have a misconception of material. Like, you know, people don't understand, like, cabinets is going to cost you 3, 4, 5, if not 10 grand, you know what I'm saying, on cabinets alone. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand. People think that they get $10,000, $5,000, and they can remodel their whole entire.
They could go out of IKEA. I mean, they just go slap it up there.
I mean, you can't even do it at IKEA.
We did a lot of work in.
You can't do it.
We did a lot of work in the Ann Arbor market, and a lot of things that, like, it took me a minute to understand is, like, the quality of work that we do, the level in which other people are doing it, and then, like, the price, right? For some reason, I don't know if it's a demographic thing or not, but, you know, I've been, like, trigger shot and sending out those high bids in my earlier, like, when I first got started. I almost felt bad when I got to send somebody like a bid and it's high. And we were doing a cabinet job. And,
I never feel bad.
And West well, it's one of those things where you're almost scared to lose the bid. And that's when I was just getting started. So you always try to lead with, you know, the cheapest cost possible.
You know what I learned? You burn yourself doing that.
Every time.
You know what I'm saying? By giving somebody, and then even when you do a favor, it's like they the worst customer. Like when you give somebody a favor or give somebody a low price, you might as well just shoot your
they the
shot.
worst.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying go all the way to the roof, but you know what I'm saying? Be somewhere in the middle with your price. You have to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because after it's hard to finish. If you in this game, the caulk lines, the finishing touches, a lot of contractors cannot finish the job. They look good all the way up until 70%. But when they get to that 80, 90% finish line, they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to create the lines. And that shit costs. And that's what people fail to realize.
I mean, that's the most expensive part. That punch list be like a mile long.
A mile or 2 miles
if
long.
you're not looking at it properly. But to your point, like, you know, our Ann Arbor market, because we have like a lot of relationships with cabinetry dealers. We're a cabinetry dealer, and you know we charge this company. I think we charge them $20,000 for just the cabinets,
Right.
nothing else. And then we had another job where we were just installing, and I just because it was the same size kitchen, I'm like, let me just ask what the same cabinets. I mean, all of our cabinets are full wood construction. You can go MDF if you got kids and they gonna beat up the fronts, or you can go, you know, full plywood if you got a little extra money. Don't ever go particle board. But you know, I asked him and he said, yeah, it was I think it was 48,000. I said, I'm sorry, what? Like for the whole install, right? He said, no, the cabinets
Alone.
But the cabinets were the same quality, right?
Right.
The kitchen was about the same size, and I'm not gonna lie, they had a few like, you know, roll out drawers where you can, you know, put all of your rags and stuff. But the point is, the market for that is crazy.
You know, I'm so glad you came on the show, honestly, and I'm glad you were able to produce numbers, real numbers, because people have a misconception of my pricing, and which I feel like is low, but they don't understand how much things cost. And then you got a lot of people that be hating too. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny with this business. A lot of well, he high, but I ain't even gave you a price. You know what I'm saying? So like black people, one thing we have about us, we gossip too much, we talk too much, and we don't support each other. We have to stop being crabs in a barrel. You know what I'm saying? How could you project something on somebody if they never even gave you an estimate? And we have a lot of people that just run around and they'll put things on your name and say all kind of crazy things just because they don't understand cost. And that's crazy to me. But I definitely want to get your card when we leave out of here, because you make cabinets and all that kind of stuff.
So we're a cabinetry dealer. So like our cabinets come direct from like Taiwan, overseas.
Right. So
we just get them by the container full, and we're able to extend pricing based off of that.
That's
So
dope.
we don't personally manufacture them, but if you gave me like a cabinet face, I could send it out and produce the exact same cabinets.
No, I believe in working together and building with my people. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely have to link up. But we got to close this show out. I mean, we over the time, and you know, it was a beautiful thing having you guys.
No, it is. I appreciate the knowledge, especially for our community, for both of you guys. They need to know about that moving forward. But I'm gonna ask y'all for a donation for my. No, I'm just joking. But no, I'm serious. But listen, thank y'all one more time. Share with the people how they can follow you, and then you do it as well, the contact information, because we want people watching to look out for y'all. Reach out to you guys.
So my social media handles is Israel Ibora on pretty much every social media handle. Instagram is Israel Ibora _REI. My company name is I Emerge. And that's on all social media handles as well.
Yep. And then find me on Facebook, Desmond Hill, and support Sayre Metro, Detroit, SayreMetro.org.
Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on this award-winning podcast. What up, dope? If your viewers still watching, please push that share button. Please go on YouTube and push subscribe.
Hey, what time I can come get that money?
I'm homeless. I need a house too. These brothers don't believe I'm home. I got friends.
Nobody listen.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out. This is for my pastor. I went to church today. I go to church all the time. I'd be sounding like I just went today. I go all the time, but it was so funny because my pastor tapped in last week and we was on here acting a fool, and I was just a cussing, right? today in church, shout out to Pastor Glass, El Bethel Church. He was preaching so good. And I want to give a shout out to this young lady. I believe her name is Elizabeth. She used to go there when she was 8 years old. Salute to her for going to the service. She came back today to visit for the holidays, and the pastor gave her the mic. When I say this young lady set the church on fire, you got to watch it. Go on Facebook, follow El Bethel Church. Young, beautiful lady. When I say, she had me in tears. The whole church, you would have thought she was the pastor. Like, real talk. And I just want to salute her, and I believe her name is Elizabeth. They call her Liz. But shout out to Pastor Glass. He got the preaching after her just a little bit at the end, and he was so into it, he was like, whew, I was getting ready to cuss. And then he looked at me, he said, but if I call Dice up here, he'll say it for me. So I want to give him a shout out because he know I would have, but I'm trying to be a better person. Do things differently, move differently, but I love Pastor Glass and First Lady and El Bethel Church, so I just wanted to salute them. They gave everybody in the church a gift today leaving for the holidays. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So we had a flyer that I sent to a producer to post them. If y'all interested, if you don't have a church home, hey, 7 Mile Evergreen, El Bethel. But I do want y'all to say the dates. And it's not just to y'all, this is to my viewers. The first Sunday of January, I'm just asking 2 dates in 2025. The first Sunday in January, I want to invite a minimum of 20 people to go to church with me to start the new year off. And then April the 13th, this is my birthday, and in a big event that I'm having for kids with autism, I want to have at least 50 people to join church with me for my birthday. So this will be the first year I'm not having a party. I retired from the bar business. And so now I want to do things differently. And I want to see how people really love me and invite y'all out. So say the dates, man. The first Sunday in January and then Sunday, April the 13th.
You done in a bar?
Huh?
You done in a bar?
I've been done. I retired 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Where you do karaoke?
I've been stopped that. I stopped that too. So yeah, they was right. You don't pay attention to us. Yeah, so,
I thought you invited me to a karaoke you was doing on Wednesday.
how long ago was that?
Couple of weeks.
Nah, you was out of town a couple weeks ago.
Anyway,
Yeah, before.
moving forward.
Yeah, shout out to Pastor Glass about the same those dates, the first Sunday of January, April 13th. Thank y'all for watching. I want to give a shout out to Ted Skills. As y'all see, mine is empty. Y'all notice this, they still got theirs. This is the second week Ted's bought us some food. He really good with cooking too, not just a home improvement. So I follow his story. And last night, all I said, you already know what to do. That's what I put on this video. So he came in today. He fed us, which was chili, was delicious. I ate mine before the show. We had a dessert. The cornbread. I only had cornbread. They didn't. But it was delicious, man. I just want to say thank you again. I appreciate you. And you got some business on here because somebody said they need you for a small catering for their home. So make sure we reach out to them. I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm serious. So if you want, he will do that because we trying to raise funds for What Up Doe Podcast. We do a lot in the community. And right now, we want to get some homes plus the homeless. That's why I asked you about that. It's a lot of homeless men that just in a bad shape right now who know how to fix up houses.
Right.
Who know how to, we fed the homeless in the summertime and we got these gentlemen stories. They need that push. So if we can help reach back and get these men out these homeless shelters and get them together and put them up and say they can help us reach back and get more people. So that's my goal right now. We helping the homeless get clothing and coats and sweaters and hats and stuff for the winter. But I'm also looking for What Up Doe Podcast to start buying homes to fix up, to put not just homeless people in there who looking for some place to live, but people who can help us build and continue to build. And then they can go back, we can build another house, use them to help get another house on the block, and to continue to do that until we get our neighborhoods back and help more homeless people that really just on a bad break right now. So I love to collaborate with both of you guys, even with the financial part. We can educate these people that need that help, who need that push. So if you guys willing to do that, please let me know. We need all the help and support in the world.
Yeah.
We thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all share.
For having us.
And then again, make sure y'all share, like, and subscribe off YouTube. And that's at What Up Doe W.U.D on YouTube, our new channel.
I just want to take my hat off to you, man, today, because you had a normal, basic conversation and you didn't refer to the Bible. You know, and I'm not saying
Not
that
one time.
it's good when to refer to the Bible, but I just like it when you can have a basic conversation. So my hat off.
It's all in the spirit.
It's all through the spirit.
All through the spirit.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
get it.
All right, thank y'all. We out of here. Peace.
Hey, we got a saying in the deep. It's called What Up Doe. What up, Doe?
What up, dude? What up,
Boy, get this money. Would you also get this money? Boy, get this money. Would you get this money? Get this money. Get this money.